All right, so for the end of the lab portion of the class, you're going to need to make a presentation about how to perform, use a laboratory technique, something that we've seen or done this in this term. And so the presentations themselves, importantly, aren't due until the last week of class. So Thursday, July 2nd, you can give a presentation in person that day. That's the day of the final exam. Or the Wednesday, the day before that, you got to turn in a video. So that's kind of the end of class is when these are due. But I'm setting this out, putting this information out now because I want you to have a plan for how to give this presentation, because you're going to have to make a number of choices about it. You're going to have to choose a topic. You're going to have to pick how you're going to give this presentation. Are you going to make a video, or do you want to do it in person? And I want to know that information by June 24th. That's Wednesday. With the idea being that you have some sort of plan, some sort of idea. You're not waiting till like at the very end, especially if you're wanting to make it in person. Give a presentation in person, we have to schedule those because not everyone's going to be there. If we scroll down, we can see we have this document called the presentation overview, and a number of other documents are still in there. These are largely redundant, kind of focus on if you just want the topics, just want the schedule, to what's in this overview, kind of this high level information that the idea is you're making some sort of presentation that is not just you talking. A talking head would be just you speaking about something. You can make a PowerPoint presentation, you can draw something, you can do a poster, you can do a demonstration. You don't have to demonstrate how to do the technique. You certainly can, though. If you want to just get pictures of they find on the internet, put them in a PowerPoint presentation, that's totally fine. But what you want to do is up to you. And so I'm not really going to give much guidance. It usually ends up with the presentations being generally more engaging and better, easier to grade a bunch of them. You can either choose to make a video, like you narrate a PowerPoint, or you set up a video of you talking in front of a poster, or you can do it in person, right? We just make a PowerPoint and talk about it in person or something like that on campus. And so you need to make that choice. Do you want to make a video or do you want to present in person? And then you also need to pick your topic. So you can't just talk about anything. We do have a list here. And it's things we've seen, flame tests, determining density, Grignard filtration. Sometimes it might have been like the whole focus of an exercise that we did, but these are all like tools or techniques that you've seen in the lab. And so I want you to pick one of these, and you're going to kind of focus on it, give that presentation. If you scroll down, so by the June 24th, you need to pick a topic and a format. So if you pick your topic and you're going to make a video, you're good. If you want to present on campus, you need to pick, do you want to do it the Tuesday or the Thursday? That's the final week of class. So on the 30th, we have like a participation quiz. We are going to do a lab activity, and then we'll come and do so afterwards you could give your presentation, or on Thursday, on the 2nd, we just have the final exam. There's nothing else after that. So you'll take, oopsies, what is that? How did I make it go away? You can take the final exam, and then we'll just stick around afterwards and you give the presentation. That's fine. You can pick whatever you want. So once you make those choices, if you come back into Blackboard, there's this lab technique presentation questionnaire. So in there, it's just questions of like, what topic do you want? It's like a multiple choice question. What topic? And then, do you want to give an in-person presentation or make a video? And then the third question is, if you want to give an in-person presentation, which time slots? And so if you want to just reference the topics, boom, here's a document that's just the topics choices. There's a document that's just the schedule that you can see. So that's what you need to pick by June 24th. If you come back into this document here, this overall, there's a rubric as well. I encourage you to look at this rubric. That is what I will use to grade your presentation. So I encourage you to look at the rubric. Kind of the things I'm looking for. These are the questions of like that I will be looking to see you deal with, right? Like, does your presentation address when would this technique be appropriate? Does your presentation include cleanup steps? Does your presentation talk about disposal? Does your presentation, talk about answer these questions? That kind of stuff. Do you include references? Stuff like that. those are what I'm looking for. I encourage you to take a look at the rubric, and then there's also some, if you're making a video, some references on how to make videos and share them. You will be emailing this video to me, so that if you're going to make it, you need to email it to me by Wednesday, July 1st. It's not, it's going to be pretty big, so you'll generally have to share it. Usually if you go to like attach it to an email, it'll prompt you, kind of passively have you upload it to a cloud service and send the link to me. If you have any issues with that, I've done this a number of times, pretty good tech support on this stuff. And if you have any questions about the presentation, things I'm looking for, things you're supposed to include, please don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, enjoy it, have fun. Having students make choices, I started doing a number of years ago at this point, but it leads to presentations generally having a lot more voice. So much better, much more engaging presentations, but I think it's good. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.